Hi, my name is Katarina, and this is my story. Ten years ago, I met my son's father. We were in 8th grade, and soon after that, I became pregnant, and my freshman year, I had my son Jordan. We both continued going to school, and our relationship would be on again, off again, on again, off again, all throughout high school. After school, after I graduated, I graduated in the top 10 of my class. I got great grades. I went to community college for about a year and a half. And then me and my son's dad decided to move in together so we could be a family. It was not a family. It was anything but that. Every day I would be told that I was stupid, that I was worthless, I was too fat, I was dumb, I was everything. I've heard it all. And just from there, it slowly escalated. First he would tell me all those things. Then he would push me around. After that, it became more and more. I'd have a bruise, I'd make an excuse. I ran into the table, I bumped into the wall, I tripped and fell. I would always have an excuse, but everything was always my fault. It was my fault because I did something wrong. My purpose was to make him happy and do what he wanted me to do. It started getting really bad when we decided to move out into the country. I had always lived out in the country when I was a child, and so when he decided, hey, let's rent a house in the country, I agreed. Well, I think that was kind of a way to get me away from people. He would control the places I went. I didn't see my family very often. I would just stay at home alone. I can't remember exactly when he started beating me and all those things. I tried to block a lot of it out. There are many nights that I would lock myself in the bathroom trying to get away from him. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. I've been bashed over the head with a flower pot. I have about a 2-inch scar from that. I've been punched so hard in the face, all the blood vessels in my eye, they burst, and it was like that for about 2 weeks. I made up an excuse. I was supposed to be working. I quit that job that I was doing, made up an excuse to my family, and avoided them for 2 weeks. Sometimes our son would be around, but most of the time he wasn't. Usually he would stay with my family. They were really good to help me with him. But there are some stuff that he would see too. There was a time when, for some reason, we got into an argument and I was holding my phone and he shoved it up into my face and gave me a bloody nose and broke my phone. Jordan was there to witness that, and that's something I couldn't hide. I couldn't make up an excuse for that because he definitely let my family know what happened. My family, my friends, his family and his friends, everybody told me to leave. But I was too scared. I knew I shouldn't be in that relationship, but I wouldn't get out. I didn't know how. I wish I could say I got the courage and was strong enough to get out of that relationship on my own, but it took me nearly dying to finally get out of that relationship. Finally came down to it. One evening, we had been arguing like always, and he wanted to go fishing to clear his head. So we went out to a spot we know, way out remote in the country, nobody around, and we never even ended up fishing. We got out of the car. I can't really remember exactly what happened, but one of the last things I remember is standing face to face, having an argument about something, and from over my shoulder, around my back, I felt something. It didn't hurt, but I remember feeling warm blood dripping down my back. I can hear the sounds of blood spurting out of my wounds, and just this metally, irony blood smell. It all happened so fast. I didn't know what was going on, but I had been stabbed multiple times in the back, in my chest, my throat. After that happened, I begged and I pleaded, please take me to the hospital. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose too much blood. I need to be taken to the hospital. And he didn't want to. He didn't want to get in trouble. Oh, they're gonna take me to jail, whatever. I told him, it's okay, just drop me off, leave. I won't tell him you did it. I need to go to the hospital. Think about our son. He needs his mom. He told me he'd stab himself and we'd both die and my son would be okay with my family. But I didn't want that to happen. All I could think about was surviving and just living. I didn't want to die. So he finally said, okay, well, I'll take you to the hospital. We got into the car and drove around for hours. We drove out to the complete opposite side of town and went to an orchard for a while. Finally, we drove around. He got scared and he finally decided to take me home. He said he would leave me in the garage, he would get some stuff together, and he was gonna go on the run. And I said, okay, that's fine, just get me to the hospital, get me an ambulance. And eventually that is what happened. It was probably 5 or 6 hours from the time that this first happened to when the police and the ambulance finally got there. And it crossed my mind to make up a story and say, you know, this or that happened. But by then I was done. This was my chance out and I took it. Now, looking back, I can't believe I stayed so long. Now I look back at people in the same situations and say, hey, you need to get yourself out of there. But that was me at one point. I wasn't listening to people. Shortly after all this happened, a few weeks later, I ended up reconnecting with somebody that I met in school, and now I'm in one of the best relationships I've been in my entire life. We tell each other the truth about everything. I don't feel unwanted. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. He loves me for exactly the person I am. I feel and I know that I am a beautiful person, and nobody can tell me differently. Nobody's going to bring me down, and nobody's going to tell me that I'm stupid or I can't do anything. I survived this tragic thing because God has a greater purpose for me. Everything happens for a reason. My reason that this happened for me was so I could share my story with others that have gone through the same thing or maybe are going through it right now, and give them some inspiration, some help that you're not alone, that I've gone through this and I pulled through it, and I'm a better person today because of what I went through, and I'm a stronger person than I've ever been.
Can we see your scars?
Yeah. Okay, well this is like my neck ring, and then I have one right here.
Yeah, I see it.
That one there. If you can see those.
Yeah.
Is there two right there?
Yeah.
So here, this is Viviana, my beautiful baby. She's been such a blessing to me and my boyfriend, and she just lights up your world.
Say hi, babe.
Say hi.